Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it is the Rise of Nation. It is episode 40 and today we have got Copenhagen in the first game in the championship playoff group in the Superliga. Who would have thought we were ever going to be here? You know, barring like past positions, can we see past positions here? Can we just show us? Our highest position was 5th for 3 games. We were 7th, 6th, 7th, a lot. 9th a few times, 8th a lot as well. You know, we've always were around the 6th, 7th, 8th sort of mark. 9th a couple of times as well. However, on the final day, if you did not watch last episode, with all the fixtures and how they aligned, we beat AGF 3-1 and found ourselves into this championship race. Now, we did recap it last video, but we are going to do it again. If you look at the rules, 3rd spot, get a European playoff place in any of the European leagues, wherever it sorts us. And then a 2nd, get a qualifying spot. And first get a Champions League qualifying spot as well. So no automatic spot into the group stage. And that's one of the, not one of the goals of the save, but one of the things that you expect to tick over in the save is to get the league into the, if you go to the season preview of the league, it should tell us, or the profile of the league. If you get the league, start getting the coefficient of the league, rising into the top 10, A, get it a TV deal, but B, also get how many teams get into the group stage and get into everything else and all that sort of stuff as well. Then you get more teams going into the Europa League group stage and qualifying and just improves the league in general, right? And gives there's a lot of benefits to a Rise of Nation save if you can improve the league. Now, what that means is that maybe in 5-10 years down in the future, when we're actually pushing to make Champions League qualification, relatively most of the time, making the group stage a lot, we can maybe make the league a little bit more stronger, make it a bit easier for us to qualify. However, as it stands here today, we have to do some remarkable things to get to qualify. However, we're only 1 point behind Sonda, same points as Vigil, and all of a sudden only 1 point behind FC Midtjylland as well. Midtjylland and AB also drew, so winning today, we're going to jump FC Midtjylland. And all of a sudden, you look at that table, you look at us, you look at the form that we've kind of been in, and the ability we have at the moment to play okay, and we played Copenhagen, we got a draw, and we've won a lot of games of recent time. If we can just keep going in the same vein of form, what says in our first season we can't get European football? If we've already surprised ourselves by being here and being in the conversation, and we're well in it, it's not like 3 years ago or 2 years ago where we were trying to get promoted by being 6th and being 9 points adrift, and in the end we weren't good enough. We've proved that we are good enough, and we are very close to in the fighting pack here for a top 3 finish. Now, we're going to win the league from 34 points. No, Copenhagen's going to win the league more times than not from this position. However, I still think we can finish 3rd, and there's even the realm of possibility that we can finish 2nd as well. In the end, though, today is going to be massive. We will give you the 2nd game against Sonda. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the Bromby games next episode, because they are definitely going to be hands down the most important games of the season. But at the same time, I should recap the FC Midtjylland game in between, but we'll just see how that goes. Anyway, Zahora, by the way, as well, one of our 16 clubs. A lot of clubs, a Swedish division club came in for him. He rejected the contract. I think that's because he doesn't want to go that far down. In terms of the team itself, I am going to bring Arne Jensen into here as well. It gives us an option left on the left-hand side. There should give us an option on the right as well. And I think the rest of the team is just going to be as it is. Bumnajar's been playing decently well of late. Shu's not a bad backup player to have on the bench. Anderson's found his way out because Yeppy's just been this good and growing this good that he deserves to keep going. And I just feel like the team's really good. I'm going to trust Cameron Roberts here today. Cameron Roberts, one of the ones. Cameron, I was right first time around. But don't hold me to that. We need right back and left back. What we need is to sign Zahora first and a right back and a left back, and I'm happy with the squad no matter what. And we can build upon that. And to be fair, next season I'm only planning on a left back or right back, tying down Bubba, tying down Zahora, and then I'm not signing anybody for a year. I'm just going to let the club grow some money. Anyhow, though, we have teams warming up, and this is a massive game. They are unreal. They're top of the division, and look, they should be beating us big time. However, this is SFB. This is where the shoe reigns supreme. This is where we have in the past just turned it on. Last season coming up, we turned it on. The first 6 games in the division of this playoff premium, this championship playoff in the division below. We got promoted. We won 5 of our first 6 with a draw. If we can go on a run like that this season, you just never know what we're going to do. I'm not going to do anything. Also important to note, had a meeting with the board about increasing the payroll. I leaked it to the press, and they nearly sacked me. I said, look, I wanted a reaction from you, and they said, okay, we're going to stand down here because we want to be civil with me, but at the same time, they weren't going to give me the money. So yeah. Anyway, here at Copenhagen, massive game. As you can see, it's just so close. Win today. We win today, we could be as high as 3rd. Win today, and we're definitely 5th at a minimum because we beat Mainz. Now look, it's Copenhagen. They have the best team in the comp, and they've been the best team in Denmark this season. Usually Fm21 are, but they are not having their best of year. But it doesn't matter. If we can go out here and do a job, we'll be okay. Last thing I will say is we generally have been really good against narrow systems this year, and they play generally pretty narrow. Keeper goes long. If we can get clean possession here, Christian, have a dig. He doesn't anyway. Finds Frank. Frank now, Zahora, holds the ball up nicely. Can he find a pass here? He looks for Bubnajar. Good touch. Ball through. Frank! We're 1-0 up against Top in the first game in the championship playoff games. Wow. Great hold-up play from Zahora. We need a time down. Our core is so good. Bubnajar, what a ball. Finds Frank. He doesn't miss that, the 17-year-old. And he is just so important for us, and it is 1-0. That puts us into 3rd, boys. 3 points behind 2nd. That's how crazy this season is going. And we've started scoring from set pieces too. And Bubnajar looking for Yep, finds him. In he comes, cuts it. Oh, nearly. Just needed to find that run in and find the ball across the box like we saw last episode. Christian Ramilson, though, knows how to beat some men. He's actually wanted by Ajax and a couple of other clubs. And the ball gets knocked in. Frank Zahora on the volley. Frank intelligent. It's 2-0, and that's why we need to keep this boy. That is why we need to keep this boy. We are 2-0 up, 25 minutes played. And I'm just going to say it again. Against narrow systems, against teams that don't play with width, we seem to do really well against. In the end, Frank intelligence, Zahora on the volley. Maybe the keeper should do better. We're 2-0 up. I'm going to actually move us into positive. I feel like we play better when on positive as well. And let's move this ball around. And this is a massive result. This is massive. If we come from nowhere to do this is crazy. Anyway, Yeppy, Mortensen, Bull, Frank, Christian Ramilson, inside, Kenny, big switches on. He's actually looking for Zahora. Keeper hasn't come. Beats the keeper. No, he doesn't. It was onside too. What a ball from Kenny. We've seen it so many times from Big Ken when he pops it into the box from there. And in the end, Zahora had the goal at his mercy and just didn't do it. Anyway, Bubnajar, he's had to whip it because he was stood up. And in the end, it is going to be 2-0, 38 minutes played. Love to see it. 40 minutes played, another highlight. Hey, if we can make it 3-0, boys, you just never know. Christian, Yeppy Hansen, ball in, cleared away. And maybe for the first time, they're going to come on the break here. Maybe Yeppy. That's why he's in over Anderson. And Tony Christensen, he's been a colossus. Finds Yeppy, big switch towards Bumner, doesn't find him, but Kenny sweeps up everything in the middle of the park. And Callum Roberts now with the ball towards Zahora, doesn't find him, it's headed away again. Callum, just keep it. You're not really the best at passing it, never mind. Bum the jar, goes for goal, it's 3-0. Callum, I take it all back, what a pass. We are beating Top, and Top by comfortable mile, Copenhagen 3-0, and it's not even half time. There is some crazy things happening today on screen. Bum the jar, what a ball. Great touch, beats his man, looks up and bangs it. And all these youngsters have been growing and growing and growing, and they have been getting better and better and better. And I tell you what, Copenhagen are being put to the sword. Do not play a narrow system against us, because we just carve you apart. I am delighted. Start the second half. And hey, boys, with the form we're in at the moment, who knows what we do against Bromby, who just sacked their manager because they finished 7th. Who knows? 56 minutes played. We are just ticking away. We're 3-0 up here. This is massive. This is a massive 3 points. Hey, it makes us favourite against Saunders, and all of a sudden, 6 points in the first 2 games could be huge if we could do that. 70 minutes played, time's ticked away. I think Yeppy's been superb. Midfield ratings are really horrid. Federic's going to get out there, keeps him a little bit happy as well. And I think what we're going to do is I'm actually going to get the shoe in, but up top, something I don't usually do, but rest Zahora. Just make sure Zahora gets rested. The shoe can go out there as well. And I've not long left in this game as well. I am going to get Frisk, but in the hole. Frisk can play in the hole as well. It's important for the youngster to really learn. We actually rejected $1 million bid for Frisk as well from Malmo, who really wanted him. He's developing really well. You can see why he's going to be our hot prospect for a little bit. Anyway, 85 minutes played. Important to note lastly, youth intake, horrid. I said it was going to be horrid. Look, Even if they score now, I'll be livid because we didn't keep a clean sheet, but they're not scoring 3 goals in the last 3 minutes of the game. Anyway, Tony Christian heads it away. The shoe just goes, look, I'm just standing here. It doesn't bother me. Valenti now on the ball. Into Fogard. That's a great ball. In the end, Robert gets chipped, but he hits the bar. Would have been a great goal. To be fair, they carved us up, and that was a filthy chip. But hey, it doesn't really matter. Time's ticked away. It's a last chance. That looked like handball. Apparently it's not. It's a last chance for them to get one back. He looked offside. Apparently that's going to count. Where's VAR? Because that one looked more offside than a few of the ones that we've had. Last episode, everybody. The shoe was onside by 1.5 meters. I'm disappointed to concede, but hey, we're going to beat top. Doesn't bother me. He looked well off. Oh, never mind. Callum Robertson being Callum Robertson was still in the 6-yard box. Never mind that. Yeah, look at Callum. I don't know why he stands here. Just push up. If he pushes up, everyone's off. Silly. He does my head in. And see, he drops to a 6.3 because he's just horrid. But yeah, I'm telling you, boys, if we had fullbacks, we would be a menace with the core we have. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. You know, Yepi and Zahora in for Anderson, obviously the shoe, right? That unreal. The shoe then comes off and does what he does, and in big games he scores. And yeah, we got people off the bench that can do a job too. Christian Ramilson as well over Frisp. You know what I mean. Our core and our proper first team is unreal for the division. Anyway, we are going to continue in there. That is massive, ladies and gentlemen. We just went and beat top 3-1. I'm pleased, but we're going to have to work hard and keep it in there. How much longer? Absolutely covers high. Not me. Everyone's focused squarely on the task at hand. It is true. That has put us third. 3 points behind AAB, and only a 1 goal difference less than them. Massive. We've got Saunders next, and Sonder is one of the teams that on paper I will target 6 points against in this playoff division. It is massive. What a time to be an SFB fan. I thought we needed to press F4 then. We were 7th going into the final day after the first game in the playoff promotion, whatever you call it, in this championship league group, whatever they call it. We find ourselves in a European spot. And we've got the next game of this episode coming up in just a second. Welcome back, YouTube. We play Sonder Elite Sports Club now in the final game of today's episode. Last game out, the AAB beat Copenhagen, which means to me that if we win today, we're going to go 5 points behind top. And all of a sudden, the good old, not even in a playoff spot, final day, sneak into the playoffs in 6th to winning the league is then very much possible. Anyhow, it shouldn't even be possible, and it shouldn't even be our goal. But in the back of my head, if I win 10 games from 10, I think we win the league. So, yeah, it is what it is. Let me know if I'm delusional for even thinking like that. Anyway, we have the game today. We've also got Fm21 playing as well at the same time or just before us. And that makes the FC Midtjylland game. Midtjylland, I don't know. Wait, however you pronounce it. Erruopean FC, as we would call it here in Australia. He's not even there anymore. He's at Montpellier. I wonder how he's going, Erruopean. That's a bit of a sidetrack. How are you going, Awa? Have you played games of football? Played 11 games at 6.5 at Awa. Come on, mate. Need to be better. That game's so huge as well. Every game's so huge. This is mental. They won. That's all that matters is that they won. They drew to Vigil, actually. That's actually a good thing in ourselves because we win today. We're actually going to go a game ahead of Vigil as well, which is massive. Anyhow, we are going to play as we are unchanged from the last game. It is going to be Robert in goals. Robert's out at right back, even though he's shocking. Fernandez and Christian. We don't have a left back, so Mortensen's there. Hansen and Kenny. Bubnajar, Ramilson, Frank and Zahora. These front 5 are unreal, and the 2 centre-backs are definitely as good as you would like. Delighted the team is in good form and there's not so much rotation. Mate, there won't be no rotation unless we need to. Only problem is that we do have Bromby in 2 days' time. That sucks. That sucks big time. I don't know what I'm going to do with the FC Midtjylland game, but yeah, we'll see what happens. The reason Stanley has Sunder in 5th place while we're in 2nd. Let's show them why. Oh, I didn't like that. You know what? I'm going to point the finger and I'm going to go defenders, I have faith. Midfielders, I have faith. And attackers, let's see it. Alright, here we go. Opposition. Score prediction in the chat. This is massive. Let's go out there. Let's press. They are playing a wider system, which does not help me. I believe it's really good. Without all the details, I'm inclined to give it to you. I don't know, not really for me to say, is it? This is massive, boys. As you can see, our last 5 games have been 2 draws, 3 wins. Can we keep the winning streak going? Here come the Sonder team. You know, we trigger up top, and then they've got some players in there, and a couple of regions at the back that we might have to look at next season. But as you can see, a win today, we move back into third, and we were only 5 points behind top. A draw gets us also back into third, but not exactly the result we want or need here at home. We need to go out here. We need to show them why we're in such good form and go out there and win this game of football. Score prediction in the chat, and let's get underway here. 12 minutes played, yet to find that early goal, and it is a highlight for them as the ball comes in and right heads over. And I don't like that they're wearing their light blue sort of colour, but it is what it is. Anyway, 66% of the ball. I'm going to move in the positive that little bit earlier. And we're good at this short corner. And bum the jar. Yeppy. Pick you in the end. Frank. Doesn't hit. Tony. Down he goes. Referee pen. No, not given. And they're on the break. Wow. Really, referee? Not given at all. They go down the other end. Roberts, what a tackle. And he gives it... Okay. So you're going to go check VAR for that. And Tony's isn't a pen. If VAR comes back and says this is a penalty, I'm going to fucking lose it. It's never a pen. Never a penalty, ever. It's not a pen. Thank you, no penalty. Should have been a penalty on the other end. While you're there, should have checked the VAR down the other end. What a tackle from Cullen Roberts. Very, very, very unlike us not to get a highlight from our own corner as well with this snowy short corner. Anyway, throw-in was poor. Trigger flicks to no one in particular. All right, they're sitting a bit deeper. Tony now finds Kenny. What a ball. Zahora doesn't get there and in the end headed into Thomas's hands. He loves that ball, Kenny. He loves that little deep ball over the top. Anyway, Thomas goes, picked off by Kenny again. Bum the jar doesn't get on that. Force him long a third time, and in the end, that's going to be Tony Christensen, and we are squeezing him big time. The ball towards Ramiulson, well won, but it wasn't the best. Frank now, though, and he runs inside with the speed, and he looks out wide. That's another shocking ball. I think it's going to be their highlight. They're going to pump one over the defence from their keeper and score, aren't they? Here it goes. Fernandez actually wins. Bum the jar. Christian turns. Doesn't really get going. Roberts now. Good ball. Down the line. Bum the jar. Cuts it. Zahora flicks. Frank. 1-0. As soon as Zahora knocked it down, you knew Frank was popping it in. And we get the lead here at home against Sonda, a team that I think we should take 6 points against out of the 2 games we're going to play in. Knockdown, Frank pops it in. It's 1-0. It's 25 played. We get the early goal. And it's now just all about finding a second and then not being defensive, but just doing what we need to do. Anyway, the ball towards Zahora wasn't the best, and Anazi gets on it. The press from Christian's not bad. We force him long. We got big boys here. Trigger sort of won it. And right now, and Bindi goes for goal. What a finish. Just a nothingness goal. Like, we should do a lot better, and there should not be any space. And the long ball isn't great, and we should win that ball, Tony, with a better header. In the end, it's a ball through, and it's 1-1 just like that. They've done not much. They put one shot on target, goal. 60% of the ball we're having. We've been the better side. But yet again, it's just a moment of madness. Mortensen, ball down the line. Christensen's going to get there. Can he cut it? Does well to actually hold it up. Now he cuts it. Bum the jar head. Zahora flicks on. And that is going to be 2-1, and Zahora scores. And it's his 24th for the year. We really need to tie him down. Mortensen, what a ball. Down the line. Christian Rasmussen. Well done. Pops it in. Headed back towards goal. Zahora's onside. He flicks in. And there we go. It is going to be 2-1. Okay, let's get into half-time at 2-1, boys. Come on. Time ticks away. No highlight, thank you. It's half-time. I'm very happy with that. I'm delighted, boys. Now let's start the second half. And let's just find a 3-1. Let's get a goal. Let's go 3-1 up. And let's just hope and pray then that's enough. Winning this game could be massive. Anyway, Mortensen throws. Frank now. Back into Yeppy. Yeppy drives inside. He's good at this. Ball into Christian Ramiulson. Sold him a bit short. And they're going to go on the break here. It's a poor ball from Yepp. In the end, it's fallen to him. That's lucky. Frank wins it back though. Yeppy does well. He finds Christian. Frank wants it. He's screaming for it. Said he looks for Zahora. Keeper comes. Doesn't get there. And it's hit the post. The ball really should have been Frank's. But in the end, Zahora hits the post. And we're a whisker away from a 3-1 lead as the highlight continues. But I don't see how it's going to be really our highlight. Really, after that. The ball comes in. Zahora, Frank's effort's blocked. It was a highlight. Is it going to end now? If they go on the break, I'll be living. Yeppy again. That's a ball and a half to bum the jar. Is it still a highlight here? Cuts it. Zahora. Ref, nothing. 58 minutes played. It should have been 3-1 and it wasn't. In the end, though, look, we've been all over him. We deserve the 3-1 lead. They chipped into the box. There's no way Christensen should miss out on that header. He's having a bit of a stinker at the back, is Tony. And in the end, we're dominating the game. We just can't score. That all-incisive one, that's a poor throw. Here we go. We couldn't concede. He's got to beat them all. Here we go. Fuck off. Robert. It all comes from a poor throw-in from fullback. Just stupid. Stupid. There's 3 guys around him. Foul him in then if you can't fucking win the ball. Dominated the game, man. Fuck off. Fucking lucky. Pieces of shit. They score, I'll fucking lose it. The shoe's coming in. Christian now as well. Frederick Anderson maybe can provide a moment. They have gone close while that's happening. We need a moment of magic. Come on, boys. Roberts throws Kenny now. There's no way they should be in this game. There is no way they should be in this game. Should have been 3-1 up, 4-1 up. Tony. Back into Bubba. Come on, go wide. Into Tony Christensen. He looks for the shoe. That's poor. Tony's had a shocker. But I don't want to really take him off because he's definitely our best centre-back. Gusto, can we win it? We squeeze and we just don't win it. They're going to score. It's going to be 3-2. It's going to be game over. Game over. We know how this highlight ends. Lucky. Just not our day today. We've been the best team. Can't do it. Sahura's got a tight hamstring. We got a big game coming up. That is a poor ball. Where the fuck are you going, Bubba? What a tackle, but it fools him. Of course it does. Tackle again, falls to him. That's a goal. Tackle, falls to him. Fuck off, man. Seriously, fuck this stupid shit. Fuck off. How fucking lucky do you want to be, you fucking dumb pricks? Fuck you, you fucking lucky pieces of shit. So stupid. Sonder have done fucking nothing all fucking day. Done fucking nothing all fucking day. To go get FM right now. Stupid. Big chance for 3-1-2 from Zahora and he missed. Frank, I need you to cut this. He does. Zahora blocked. Of course it's blocked. Fuck off. Fuck off. Of course it's fucking blocked. Yep, he's ball in. That is poor. That is fucking so poor. Roberts, Frank, good ball. Zahora was offside. Just sums it up. Sums it up. Dominated the fucking game. Fucking go beat top. Lose to the shittest team in this fucking playoff. Fucking thing. Fuck off, man. Stupid. We're going to move to 5th. Should be fucking second. It should be fucking third. Fighting for fucking second and first. Seriously. It is so stupid. What a time to go, you fucking cop it by FM. Ball in. Game over. We know it's offside. We don't need to fucking see it. I tell you what. Yeah, it is. Never mind. That is so piss poor. That is piss fucking poor. To lose that game. To dominate like that. To be 2-1 up at half time. To be 2-1 up at half time. Right? To hit the post. To not play Frank instead of Zahora there as well. Right? If he plays Frank, Frank just comes in a goal and fucking finishes anyway. No. Stupidity. Fuck me. That's so disgraceful. That is fucking so disgraceful. Instead of us fighting, even though we never should have been in the spot, instead of us fighting for fucking winning maybe the league from nowhere, and instead of us fucking putting ourselves in a comfortable fucking spot to fucking qualify for Europe, that's happened. See you next time, because we're not going to qualify against Bromby now. All momentum done. Bromby going to beat us in the cup. See you next episode. Bye.